A friend in need is a friend indeed, so goes the saying. This adage clearly depicts the state of affairs at the Ministry of General Education and Instruction, where UNICEF, in conjunction with the Global Partnership for Education, have played a major role in ending one of the ministry's longest challenge, the development of a policy framework for early childhood education. Officials from the ministry say South Sudan is a champion of early childhood education because they have successfully used the ECE Acceleration Toolkit in the formation of the ECE Technical Committee, the subsector analysis and policy development process. The Director General for Gender and Inclusive Education, who is also a member of Community of Practice, Esther Akumu Achire, hailed the support of the Knowledge Innovation Exchange Project in delivering the much-awaited ECD program in South Sudan. Akumu said the first standalone ECE policy and communication strategy were developed with support from KICS project.
On behalf of the Community of Practice of South Sudan, I thank KICS for their support in promoting ECE in South Sudan. COPS was actively engaged in several virtual meetings with KICS, and the meetings resulted in achieving several programs in ECE in South Sudan. We used the KICS tool in several activities, including the ECE subsector. And this program of KICS have helped so much. What I have learned during the KICS has helped me to contribute and participate effectively in this meeting of the development of the strategy for the ECD. Because ECD is not only a program of education, but it is including even the social welfare.
The final draft policy framework and implementation strategies are already in place, awaiting official endorsement by the Council of Ministers and the National Assembly. The Deputy Director for ECE, Sarafino Tisa Savastore, said the 16-year wait for establishment of early child education has finally come to an end, thanks to UNICEF.
The key achievements, one is we have developed a final draft of a policy. This is the first of its kind in South Sudan for pre-primary education. And then also we have developed a strategy and the implementation plan. And then we have developed this advocacy, because in pre-primary education, advocacy is an issue. Most of our people, they don't see the importance of pre-primary education. Therefore, this KICS project helps us to develop key messages.
UNICEF's Education Officer Christine Meling-Lemi says UNICEF would continue to work in collaboration with the Ministry of General Education and other stakeholders to ensure the ECE policy is disseminated and implemented accordingly.
The project was very, very, very important in that it's not only about the documents that have been developed or the policies and the strategies. One important document that was developed with support from this funding is the ECE communication strategy. Because when we look back at the time that we had the ECE subsector analysis workshop, one key recommendation that came from that workshop was that communities in South Sudan are not sending their children to pre-primary education because, because of lack of knowledge of the importance of this program. So with this communication strategy, I think it is something that the Ministry of Education, with support from partners, is going to pick up with the UNICEF support to ensure that nationwide mobilization campaign is conducted to ensure that more parents embrace pre-primary education.
The Director for ECE, Elizabeth Ferdinand Mosa, says pre-primary education has been a top priority for the government, with an ultimate goal of universal enrollment in pre-primary education.
With that project, we managed to establish a steering committee and a technical committee. What they are joining together to implement and monitoring.
Educators at the ministry say preschool education lays the foundation for lifelong learning among the children. They praise UNICEF for supporting the entire development process of the policy framework.
No, ECD is basic in education. It is a foundation. According to education principles, when a child misses nursery school or ECD, the child has missed a lot of things. So it is a foundation of character formation. It is a very basic thing in education, actually. So without ECD, we will go nowhere.
When you look at ECD, that is the foundation of education of our children. Therefore, because of this, mixing it together with primary education, secondary education will not be easy. The Ministry of General Education and Instruction is trying very hard to make it stand alone, to have a directorate of early childhood education.
The Ministry of General Education and Instruction is soliciting for more funding from the donors, education partners, the private sector, and the government to address the huge gap in the pre-primary education subsector, which includes access, quality, and inclusion. The next step is for the ministry to ensure the policy is disseminated, implemented, and monitored to achieve the desired results and mobilize resources for pre-primary education.